Don't you feel? Doesn't it feel nice being just out and about?
Yeah, but I was out and about for the past 6 days.
I just like I like going into the office sometimes now. Like you have to learn to like it, right? So I just like it because on my way back I drive through like downtown, and then I stop at the beach and I just walk on the beach.
That sounds kind of like depressing at the same time as like
why?
Just like by yourself kicking rocks.
No, I literally just walk on the dock and I take my book and I read my book. Why'd you make it sound so?
I don't know. I'm just like picturing you just like with your hands behind your back. Like
every time someone says like walking on the beach, you think of something positive, don't you?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be like just kicking a rock, and it's like a sad sight, you know?
What?
I don't know.
Welcome back to the Cousin Connection podcast.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. It's technically only been like a week.
That's how we're going to do our intro?
Yeah, whatever. It's all good.
Really?
You guys already know who we are, okay? This is episode 54 of the Cousin Connection podcast.
I feel like they missed us. We missed them. We should do we should go big or go home.
Do you guys really miss us?
I'm here.
What? Is that the ice cream truck?
Yeah. Amir.
What, you actually want to get ice cream?
You don't?
Right now, we're literally recording right now.
So we'll multitask.
We can go to Dairy Queen or like...
Okay, deal.
McDonald's. Okay, yeah.
Deal.
Yeah, guys. So, sorry for missing another week there. Like I mentioned the week before when we had that podcast, we're doing some travels, okay? So, we were a little absent here and there, but we came with more stories for you guys. So, honestly, you're just benefiting from this hiatus we had for 1 week.
It's honestly getting louder.
It's like so loud. You can pick it up on this. It's probably gone by now.
It's right in front of your house. Are you going to get us ice cream? So,
I have my money ready too.
As you guys know, we clearly like a lot of I love soft serve ice cream so much.
Yeah, I love soft serve. I don't like the like regular
like where it's like scoop it
the
out.
scooped ones. Oh, I had the money ready.
Yo, I recently got ice cream from an ice cream truck, and it's so expensive. It is.
It's like $5 for like the smallest cone.
Do you remember when we would get like dip ice cream and it would be like $2.50?
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
It would be like $1.25 for the regular, and then like an extra 50 cents for
or
dip
like
or something like that.
If you got like a medium or something, it was like $2.50 or something.
Yeah,
I remember that was like, and that was a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Anyways,
now you gotta have like. You gotta pull out your bank card and
I know. Do they
tap
it?
I don't even think they do debit. I don't know.
Okay, it's gonna be like wow.
I feel like all of those ice cream trucks are off the book. Like
they're still in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like cash only.
Yeah, because I don't think even the one I went to on the beach, because there's one that's always parked on the beach there.
Oh yeah.
Like even that one was like only cash.
Really?
Yeah, that's when I found out how expensive it was for ice cream.
Oh yeah,
because I'd be walking there every day, not in a depressing mood, of course.
You're thinking like, let me treat myself to like a medium ice cream cone, and they tell you $6.50.
Yeah,
please,
like I literally like I made the intention to get ice cream. I was like, oh, I'll burn the calories off of my walk anyways. And I was like, oh, I'll bring, like $5 just in case I want to get like two things or something. And it was like $5 without the dip. I wanted to get the dip, but like, and also they only had vanilla left. They didn't even have the mix. The twist is always number one.
You got to do.
Yeah.
I want a medium cone twist with chocolate dip.
Yeah. Whoever got sprinkles, you're a psychopath.
Ew,
yeah. Sprinkles are like, why would you want to make it harder to eat your ice cream?
I know. And then it gets all like chamlaka.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the English word for chamlaka? Like there's nothing that really
like dirty. Like
yeah, but it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah. Put in the comments what you think.
Yeah, for all of our Hararis listening to this, like what's the equivalent? The English equivalent.
Chamlaka.
Because that I feel like, when your mom called you chamlaka, it like brought shame to you. You're just like, damn, really?
Especially when they put the extra in there.
You're serious. And then the
chamlaka.
That's so true. Oh my god.
See, I told you I'm sweating already. It's probably because I ran for that ice cream truck. Yeah, I literally went outside for a second. Ooh.
So let's talk about where we've been.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Amir should go first because it's the order of sequences.
But yours is more like recent.
Okay, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, because I have some crazy stuff that happened.
Okay.
Well, like not really crazy. Okay, go ahead. Just go.
Okay, so I was in Mexico.
What part of Mexico were you in?
I was in Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. I literally every time someone asked me, I was like, "They're in Mexico." They're like, which part? I was like,
I don't know.
I have no idea. Mexico. Yeah, I saw the name there, but it was just like so obscure to me. I was like, I don't know, guys.
I know everyone like thinks of like Cabo, Cancun, Tulum.
Yeah.
But we picked this city.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy that we did. Like, it's not as touristy. Like, it's starting to get touristy, but not as much.
Yeah.
And it was 7 of us there. We got this really, really nice house. Like, I'll show you. And
Did you guys not have any issues getting there?
Like flying there?
Yeah.
No. So our flight was from Terminal 3, not Terminal 1 at Pearson.
Yeah, Terminal 3 is... Actually, no, Terminal 3 is... I'll tell you about it.
The only annoying thing, like, we didn't take Air Canada because, like, we heard the stories.
Yeah.
We took WestJet. But the thing with WestJet is that their entire process of, like, checking your bag, which... Rookie mistake, we checked a bag. But, like, we just had a lot of stuff, you know? It was all machine stuff. Like,
you check in with... Yeah, there's no person there.
And imagine... We went on like a 5-day trip. You would think that we are bringing a big suitcase and it's going to be like empty because you're there for 5 days.
Don't tell me y'all were overweight.
So mine was like 52 pounds. And like, I feel like if there was a person there, like a human, they'd be like, all right, just let it go, right? But no. So I'm there. It's very embarrassing, by the way, because it's such a shit show. It's like 8 a.m. Not even 8 a.m. We got there for like 6:30, I think, in the morning.
And what time was the flight?
I believe it was at 9 because boarding started at 8:15.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to put my suitcase on. It's heavy. The machine tells me like wait for assistance. Me and Nabat, because Iman had already beat us to it, right? So Nabat and I are like, oh my god, we have to take stuff out. So I'm like opening up my.
Wait, each of you guys checked in a bag?
Yes. Let's just not talk.
For a 5-day
let's
trip.
Let's not judge because we were also swimming. You know, you got to pack like. We're hijabis, okay?
Keep going. I'm not judging. Okay, well, maybe I am, but go ahead.
You're definitely judging. Amir's like, I would have fit all my stuff in a backpack.
Yeah.
So I'm like panicking now. I'm sweating, like, because my stuff, my suitcase is too heavy. So Nabat was like, okay, let me check mine. I think hers didn't. It was heavy, but it also just didn't have enough space. Yeah. So she's like, oh, I have a really big, like, she had like a reusable like tote thing that had a lot of space. So she's like, we'll just move it around. So I'm like, okay. I also have a duffel bag. I'm gonna just put stuff in there. So we take out my stuff, and it was no joke, 50.02.
Wait, so it doesn't give you even point?
No, 0.02, not even 0.2, 0.02.
What was the like expected weight? Was it supposed to be just 50 pounds?
50 pounds.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It doesn't even give you 0.2?
That's why I was pissed. And so I'm like, are you kidding? So the guy behind me, this black guy, he's like, okay, let me try. He had the exact same issue. His was 50.02. So he's pissed. We're pissed. We're all like, you know, shuffling like in this crowded area. We're taking stuff out. And then I literally took out like half of my suitcase. Yeah. Shoved it in our bags. And then I think it went down to like 48 pounds. And I was like, you know what? It'll do. Yeah. So I send off my bag, whatever. We're good to go. We get on our flight. We have breakfast before then because we had so much time to kill. Yeah. And then we were good. When we got to the city, we took... Oh, here's the other thing. So we booked a car beforehand. Yeah. And in their instructions, it literally says, do not speak to anybody. Just look for people wearing like a purple shirt or something. So we're like, okay, cool. So we get there, and just like the videos that we watched online, there's like people coming at you in every single direction at the airport to like try and secure a ride with you. Yeah. So Nabat was like, guys, tunnel vision, okay? And we're like, okay, like just following her lead. So this guy calls us over, and she was like about to cuss him out, like leave us alone. He's like, no, like let me help you. So he's telling us where to go. He's like, if you go out,
was he wearing a purple shirt?
I mean, no, but he recognized our logo, and his like badge showed that. So we go outside of the airport now, and this lady comes up to us, and she's like, oh, you guys are with me, same company. Nabat's like, no, we're not. She's like, yes, you are. You're the same. I work for the same company. Nabat's like, no, you're not our ride. And she's like, okay, fine. So the lady walks away. I'm like, are you sure? Because like low-key, she's wearing like a purplish pink shirt. Yeah. She's like, no, that's not her. Trust me. So we're like, okay. So we're walking around. Yeah. Like literally melting in the sun because it is hot.
Wait, so this guy had the car to take you guys?
He just told us where to go. The lady saw our paper, and she's like, we're the same company. I'm going to take you guys. But Nabat was like, no, because she didn't want to get scammed.
Wait, so who did he tell you to look for?
I feel like they got their colors all wrong because I'm pretty sure he said like purple, but this lady was wearing a pink shirt. So then we walk around for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I really think that lady was our ride. That's really awkward. Like, now we have to go say sorry, you know? So we go back, and we're like, oh, shoot. It was her.
Yeah. Oh, so it actually was her.
Yeah. So then we had to go back and we're like, hey, how y'all doing?
Like, you know exactly what's going on.
How y'all doing?
So we're like, we're so sorry. We just didn't want to get scammed. So she starts laughing. She's like, it's okay, no worries. And then she like helped us find our car.
Yeah.
So we get in the car, and then I don't know what type of person you are when it comes to traveling, but like if I know that someone else is taking care of all the planning, I just like to be surprised. So I didn't really look at the house. I didn't like. I remember looking at it when we first booked it.
Yeah.
Because our friends wanted the approval.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember what it looked like. I had no idea. So we get to the Airbnb, and we pull up to this like, it looked like the Beverly Hills, but like the Mexican version.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh my God, is her staying? Are we in the right area? Is this the right house?
Yeah.
So we show up. There's like a code, whatever. We get in the house, and my jaw hit the floor. I was shooketh because I didn't expect this.
Oh, did it look like, you know, when you're entering a house on those like Beverly Hills shows where they show the rent,
so
the houses they're selling?
Yeah. It was like fully furnished. Everything was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow. You know that? Wow. Oh my God.
Literally. You're looking around like the guy?
Yeah, I was just like, wow. Like there was a pool. Yeah. Like it was so nice. Like nicer than my house. Shoot. Yeah. Like I was like, I want to move. I want to move here. So, you know, the first day it was just the three of us, the Canadian girls minus Aisha. And then we like explored the house, and I think because the night before none of us really slept, we were like, let's just take a little baby nap. That turned into like full on sleep, and then we finally woke up, went swimming.
How many hours was it?
Honestly, like I think I was too excited to like sleep, but the girls were like exhausted. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll sleep. And then we went swimming in the pool, which was like really nice. Guys, imagine. Oh my God, it's back.
No, he's in the other side. Don't worry, he's in the other neighborhood.
So yeah, like it was really, really nice. It was a gated community too, so it was like very safe. Like I know I've heard horror stories about people in Mexico, so like we felt very safe, very comfortable. And then the next morning, so the girls that were coming from LA didn't really arrive until like 3 p.m. So we had the whole morning to explore. Yeah. So guess what I did?
What?
Because you know how much of a chicken I am. And we are like, I'm actually afraid of everything.
Oh, I think I know what it was. Go ahead.
I went parasailing.
I was so surprised that y'all actually did that.
You know how many people were like, wow, Sara, you did that? And I was
Why?
like, yeah, I don't know. I guess everyone knows that I'm a chicken.
No. I mean, like, how did that even become a thing? Parasailing.
So here's the thing. Before,
I thought it was part of the package or something.
Well, so for that one day that we were alone, like Nabat was like, okay, we need stuff to do. Like, would you guys be down for parasailing? And I'm thinking it's the one where you're like on a surfboard or something, or not a surfboard, but you're like in the water and then you go up. You know that one where you're holding on to
yeah. That's basically the same thing.
Is that not parasailing?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. And then she was like messaging the guy and he's like, no, you're running from the beach. She was like, sorry, how do we just go up in the air from the beach? Yeah. So when we got there, like we saw someone else do it and I literally freaked out. I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'll watch you guys. I'll pay for it since we already booked it, but I'm not doing it. Yeah. And she's like, no, like, you're fine, don't worry. And I was like, okay, you guys go first. So Iman goes first. Iman's not afraid of anything, so she did it. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, Nabat, you're next. She was like, no, because if you say that, I know you're gonna back out if I let you go last. So you have to go second. So now I'm like profusely sweating. I'm nervous. I'm like, what if the rope was like maybe the thickness of this? It wasn't even that thick. The rope that's holding.
Nah, you're overreacting.
Maybe it was like a little bit thicker. Maybe it was like double, like that. Like it was really skinny.
But the worst that can happen is that you're in a parachute. You'll just float down.
I don't know. But like, so they're like harnessing me in and I'm still like not really processing the fact of what I'm about to do.
Yeah. Just don't think about it.
And so then the guy's like explaining all the safety things. And I'm just like, wait, say that again. Say that. What red rope? What do I have to pull when? And he's just like trying so hard to like explain it by the time Iman comes down. So Iman lands and like 30 seconds he's like, go. I'm like, go where?
Wait, so when she lands, is there a second boat that you're attached to or?
No, so they just hook me onto her parachute.
Oh, okay.
So now he's like hooking me on, and he's like, okay, remember, when I blow the whistle once, you pull the red rope. That's like your landing thing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Did I see the red rope? No.
Yeah.
I was just figuring like it'll appear somewhere.
What? Okay.
I don't know. So then he's like, okay, we're going to run.
Yeah.
And then when I tell you sit down, you sit down. I was like, okay, cool. I'm thinking I could get a whole photo. I'm like, Navat, take photos of me. He's like, run. I'm like, what? Okay. So now I'm like, you're not even really running. You're kind of just like walking fast. And then they're kind of holding on to you on the sides. I'll show you. Maybe I'll put the video, or Amir will put the video here. But they tell you run. And then he goes, sit down. So you sit down. Amir, I couldn't even process my fear because of how fast it all happened.
Yeah.
Like, I just went from running on the beach to like literally levitating in the air. So, and then for like maybe 10 seconds, I was freaking out because I went up so fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, oh my God.
How
oh my
high
God.
are you going?
Like very high. I'll show you the video.
Yeah.
So now I'm up there and I was like terrified. My hijab's like falling off. The wind is everywhere. I was like, oh my God. And I was gripping on for like, I could let go, but I was gripping on so hard that like I realized my hijab was falling off. So I did one of these. I was like, trying to pull it back on because I didn't want to let go.
Yeah.
And then I did what you're not supposed to do, but I looked down and then I like full on, I started screaming and then I was like, wait, like literally nobody can hear me. So why am I screaming?
But wasn't it not fun? Like, were you not?
Eventually I was like, like I calmed myself down and then I took in the view and like you literally see like the whole like coast. It's so nice. I was up there for like 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
I thought this is like a quick like 3-5 minute thing.
Maybe he was just really nice to us and they didn't. It wasn't that busy, so he took us for a longer ride.
Yeah.
And then so you basically start off on the shore and then you circle. Let's say like, this is the shore right here, right?
Yeah.
So we start here. You're in the sky. You go around all the way across the coastline.
Yeah.
And then when you start turning back.
Yeah.
Basically, when you get like to like midway point, he blows a whistle and you have to pull this.
Can you hear them?
Yeah, the thing that's kind of scary though is like when you're that high up, you don't know where they are, so you're like, oh my God, which one are they? Like I don't know which one to like land on. Yeah. So he blows the whistle and he's like, pull the red thing. Like I can hear the whistle, so I'm like looking up, like where's this red thing? It's so high up, so I'm like, oh my God, how am I supposed to reach that? So then I'm thinking it's like a little light tug. It was so hard, Amir. I had no upper body strength because I was also like very scared, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull and then I can see his little tiny ant body like going like this, like really pull it, right? So I'm panicking now because if you don't pull it, you basically smack into all the buildings and you die.
No.
Well, maybe you'll be like severely injured.
They'll just take you away from the shore.
I don't know because like you're this is you. The boat's here, right? So you're like, and say your body is the buildings. So by pulling the string, it takes you like it basically turns your parachute. Yeah. If not, then you just keep going this way.
Yeah, because the red thing is a turning mechanism, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So then now I'm scared because I'm like, if I don't pull it hard enough, I'm gonna die. So I don't know where I got my Hulk strength from, but I pulled it so hard, and then eventually I had a smooth landing.
Yeah, and you have to pull and hold it, right?
Yeah, you have to hold it until he blows the whistle again, and then you let go and you just fall gracefully to the beach.
Okay, so at least you tried something new, right?
Yeah, it was actually really like after I did it, I was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And I think people, the audience, like not the audience, the people on the beach knew that I was scared because they cheered when I went up. It was so funny.
That's like the lady when we were in Ethiopia. We did.
What were they were chanting something? Remember?
You were there. I wasn't there. I was on the other side.
It was so funny. We were like chanting something for her.
What was she doing? Zip lining. Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the parasailing, and then the girls, by the time we got home, the girls were already like at home, like settled in and stuff. And yeah, we
Which
honestly
girls? Aisha and
Zainab, Hala, Zaina. Yeah, so they were all there already, and then we just kind of like hung out afterwards. And we went to this thing called Rhythms of the Night, which was kind of like we took like a cruise for like an hour. We didn't know it was going to take that long. Yeah. We get to this private island and it's like Survivor themed.
Oh yeah, I saw that story too. Yeah.
Amir? Okay, nobody warned us, okay? Because we got dressed up so nice thinking it was like a nice dinner. Yeah. It was so hot. Like we literally
even
felt
at nighttime?
Like it wasn't even hot. It was just so humid. Like the air was moist. Yeah. And there were so many people packed in this little like arena stadium looking thing. We were like dripping sweat. I don't know how our makeup even stayed on our faces, but we were like disgustingly hot. And then we had dinner.
That's the most awkward thing, being these like, especially if you're wearing like a lot of layers or like fabrics.
Yeah,
they get stuck to your face and stuck to your
like,
your body.
The guy in front of me was wearing a hat, and like, he was bald, but you know that like little hole in the back, like that was shiny, his skin, because he was sweating so much. And I was like, imagine me. Yeah. Like, you're sweating like that, imagine me.
But the best thing about those is like when you have that day where you're just sweating a lot is a shower afterwards.
That day I took 3 showers. I took a shower in the morning.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I took a shower after parasailing because we went in the water, and then I took a shower again after we came back from the dinner. But it was overall a great trip. And then on the very last night, this was a story that I was saving for Amir. Okay. So people have been warning us, like, you know, be careful. In Mexico, like, there's a whole cartel thing. Like, just be careful, you know? We're like, okay, whatever. I feel like the girls from LA were a lot more worried. And like me, Nabat, Iman, we were kind of just like,
we're Canadian, man. We're so like oblivious.
It is what it is. You're like, well, what are we gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
So in the Airbnb, there was a bedroom on the ground floor, and that's where Nabat and I were sleeping. Here's the thing, okay? When you guys go on vacation with your friends, you gotta sleep or buddy up with the person that has the same sleeping style as you. Nabat loves to sleep in a sauna. I love to sleep in a freezer. It didn't really work out so great.
Yeah.
So our compromise was we'll turn on the AC, and then Nabat was next to the screen door where the pool was. Yeah. So we're like, we'll just crack it open so the humid air could come in.
Oh my God. Okay.
So this was our last night. So like some of me and Zainab, we were just like chatting. Everyone else had like just gone up to bed. Yeah. We were still in the living room. And the weird thing is that our living room, like the first floor, there are no curtains. So the windows are like on the inside, it looks like a mirror, but on the outside, if you're looking in, you can see into the house. Yeah.
Wait, you're never supposed to have the lights. If you have your windows open, never have your lights on because everyone can see you and you can't see it, like you mentioned.
But during the day, it's opposite. So during the day, on the outside, it looks like a mirror.
Yeah, that's why you turn on the lights outside and you turn off your lights. So at least the light from outside will come in so they won't see you.
We didn't think about that.
Oh my God.
So we're sitting or chatting like in an intense conversation, right? Yeah. All of a sudden, so we do have like an alarm system on our door. We didn't know this was the rule, but like if someone tries to break in, it beeps. So we heard the beep and we were like, what is that? And then we heard like intense barking from a dog. There's like a neighborhood watchdog. Yeah. And we hear all this barking. So we're like, well, what was that? What was that? Yeah. And then we can hear like the clicking. So now I'm messaging in the group chat. I'm like, hey guys, did you guys hear that? And then one of the girls was like, yeah, I heard barking. I'm like, no. I think there's someone trying to break in.
You went straight for it. Okay.
So then the Hala and Zaina get up. Yeah. And they're watching us now from the stairs.
Balcony? Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking down. They're like, guys, Hala goes, I heard footsteps on the outside. So Zainab and I don't even think. We literally don't even think. We just run all the way upstairs. Now we're panicking. We're like, wake up the girls.
And were you all screaming while this is all going on?
We weren't screaming, but we were like, my heart was actually like racing, you know? Then I'm like, oh my God, Nabat is downstairs. So obviously we're all like, we're not going down there. Yeah. Like, what if there's someone trying to break in?
Y'all ain't like, pulling up for your girl.
So we're like, oh my God, what do we do? So now at this point, wake up Aisha, wake up Iman. Yeah. Everyone's awake and they're like frantic. Hala's like, no, I definitely heard like running outside. Yeah. So we're like, oh my God, someone's trying to break in. The beeping was the door. What do we do? So we have a house manager. There's a guy. His name is Oh my God, Edward. Edward is a real one. Okay. You know what time it was? It was like 3:30 a.m. Yeah. So Zainab messages him. She's like, Edward, there's someone trying to break in. You need to come right now. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm coming.
I'm surprised that he was awake to see that.
Yeah, I don't know how but he said he was coming. So he the reason why we were so freaked out, by the way, is because like maybe an hour before, like while everyone was awake, there's like a water heater thing and it just kept going off every like hour for 10 minutes. And we were like, why is it doing that? It didn't do that the whole off? Like it's like this loud sound and it would go on for 10 minutes. But that never happened the other few days, right? So we were like confused.
It was probably you guys ran out of hot water and it was just refilling itself and warming back up.
I mean, we were showering with cold water because of how hot it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then Now we're like really freaked out, and we're like trying to figure out how the hell do we get Nabat. So from Aisha and Iman's room, we can look through the window and like we can see into my room with Nabat.
Yeah.
And because the door is open, we can literally see her on the bed.
Yeah.
And the way that she was sleeping, oh my God, I thought someone killed her. I was like, oh my God, she's dead.
But she sprawled out.
The lights are still on, like,
yeah.
you know? So we're like, oh my God, her door, like we have to close the door. So then Aisha, Hala, and Zaina, I think the three of them, they were brave. They like went buddy system. They went downstairs and they're like, trying to wake up Nabat. So like, Nabat, you need to wake up right now.
Wait. Okay. You guys think there's someone in the house and y'all are running around the house, going to your room, waking her up, not thinking, hey, maybe someone's here. Like,
well, no, Zaina grabbed a knife while she was downstairs. Yeah. And it wasn't even like, I thought she was going to get the biggest one. It was like the small little like pocket knife, you know? I was like, why'd you get the small
for maneuverability, that's why.
Yeah, but I was like, you know, okay, whatever. We have a knife. And then before they go down, by the way, I forgot to mention this. This is very key. Before they go down, we're all in Aisha's room, and we turned off the upstairs lights. Yeah. Because again, people can see into the house, so we're like, we have to darken the house. Yeah. While we're in Aisha and Iman's room, I noticed something, but like I was too frazzled to like really concentrate on it. But I just noticed something on the ceiling. But I was like, whatever. You know what? Our concern is the intruder. Yeah. We already had someone in the house, and we just didn't realize it. Okay. So then Zaina goes, what the F is that? I'm like, what's what? And so we turn on the light. Amir, it was literally a baby tarantula. A baby tarantula. On the ceiling.
That was your home invader.
That was my 13th reason. So obviously you know me. Yeah. What intruder? Okay, I ran my ass out because it was like right in front of the door too. Yeah. I ran so fast and I was like, where do we go? I can't go downstairs because the intruder's there. I can't go in this room because the spider's here. What do we do?
Oh my God.
So now we're panicking. Yeah. And then Zainab is like, I'm going to tell Edward there's a spider too. And we're like, no. He's going to think we're childish. Okay. Let's wait till he gets here, you know? So the girls try to wake up Nabat. Nabat's in like deep sleep. Oh, before
Wait, she still hasn't woken up by this point?
Before they go down, we were like, I was just like, why don't we just scream her name at the same time? We're like, Nabat.
Did you guys actually do it? Yo, the whole neighborhood at this point hates you guys.
She didn't even hear it. Like, we were screaming her name. Yeah. Did not hear us.
And he didn't think, hey, maybe the intruder might hear us.
So then, it could have scared them away. Yeah. So then the girls go down to try and wake her up. And they're like, Nabat, you need to wake up right now. Come with us. There's someone outside. And she was like, just leave me. And on your way out, can you turn off the light? They're like, smart. What? Yeah. So they close the screen door in our room. They lock it. And then they turn off the lights. And they're just like, whatever. You want to die? You're the first to go. Like,
you're our sacrifice?
Yeah, at this point. Yeah. So then... like we're sitting by the stairs because we can see the front of the house. Yeah. We can see when Edward pulls up. So I think I see a car. I'm like, I think I see him. He messages and he says, I'm here. So she's like, how do we know it's you? He's like, okay, I'm knocking the door. Like, so he knocks on the door, right? Yeah. He comes in the house. We're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. Can you please just like circle around the house and just check for us? Yeah. So so sweet. This man was so sweet with a smile on his face at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. He just drove 20 minutes to see us. Yeah. Now it's 4 actually. And he goes, oh, it's because our garbage cans are outside and we actually have raccoons in Mexico.
Oh, they do?
And he's like, the sensor on the door is very light. So he's like, look, and he touched with his finger and then you hear the beeping. Yeah. He's like, so they like when they rub against the door, the sensor goes off.
So those are the feet she probably heard.
And then we're like, but we heard footsteps. He's like, that's because when they're going on the fence and then they're running on the deck, like you can hear them. Yeah. Then we're like, what about the dog barking? And then we look outside and there's our guard dog. And he's just looking. And
he's literally right there?
He's like right outside the house. Then he starts coming closer. Oh my God. Zainab's afraid. She's like, shut the door.
Wait, who starts getting... Oh, the door. The dog.
The dog gets closer. It was so cute though. Yeah. We're like, guys, this dog saved our lives. Yeah. So then he's showing us, he's like cleaning up the garbage because they did dump the garbage and everything. He cleaned it all up. And then we're like, we have to tell him about the spider. Like, there's no way we're going to see there's a spider. There's a tarantula. So then they're like, by the way, there's also a tarantula in the house. He's like, what? A tarantula? I don't even think tarantulas exist in Mexico. But anyways, so he grabs like a broom and a, what is it called? Dustpan?
Yeah.
He grabs that. He goes upstairs. We're all like literally hovering in one corner, which I also have a video.
Please tell me you guys filmed this whole scenario. Like, I want to see Gizman or Aisha's video or vlog.
She didn't vlog
on
this.
The night of this
it was like 3 a.m. Like, she didn't vlog, but
I guess everybody didn't have like hijabs on and stuff.
Well, at this point, like, we kind of grabbed hijabs when he was coming in.
Yeah.
So then he walks in the room and he's like, "Oh, this is normal." And then we all at the same time were like, "Normal." This thing was like the size of like no joke. Yeah. It was like maybe that big. Like
Sara, the body, that's normal for here.
The body.
Show it to the camera. What size that was?
This big.
That was. This is literally the normal size we see here. I've seen them in the shed like bigger than that.
You're not scared?
No. Why would you be scared? They can't do anything to you.
They can
unless
eat you.
It's like a recluse or something.
A what?
No,
don't
brown
Google
recluse.
It. I don't know what that is.
No, we've talked about it before. They're like the most venomous spider in the world. Well, one of the most venomous.
We have them in.
Yeah. Well, we have them. I think they come with like shipments of fruits and stuff sometimes. We've talked about this and the black widow. We've talked.
I think I know about the black widow.
Yeah.
But this was a baby tarantula.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he's like laughing, like he's literally like smiling.
Yeah.
Like, just like, okay, I'll kill it. You know? He kills the thing. And then he starts walking towards us. So obviously we scream. We run into the other room and we close the door.
This guy is probably like, I can't wait to tell the boys this
tomorrow. I know. And then he cleans everything up. He's like, okay, are you guys good? We're like, yeah, thank you so much. Like, we're so sorry. We have to tip him. So then we, like, one of the girls had like an American 20 and they're like, here, which is like, I think one American is like, I don't know, 20 pesos. So do the math, that's $400.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I'm not accepting this. No. So then she like put it in his car. And then he was like, thank you so much, whatever. We're like, no, thank you. Like, you saved our lives.
Yeah, well, okay.
So he's like smiling, leaving. And we just knew, like, we literally bursted into laughter. We're like, oh my God, this man is probably, he thinks we're psychopaths. Like, he's going to laugh on his drive home. Yeah. And probably hate us a little bit too. And that's my story of how our house got broken into in Mexico.
And what did we learn from this, guys?
That I'm a little overdramatic.
What did we learn from this? Women, ultimately, they need a man in their life.
Wow. No, and then so I was telling Nabat the next morning, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, you know, none of this would have happened if I was awake, right? I'm like, we tried to wake you up and you didn't.
Yeah, because she realized how y'all were overreacting. Okay.
Yeah, she literally went back to sleep. But like, if there really was,
that's why.
If there really was an intruder, she'd be the first to go. And I hate to say it, but.
What? Okay, you hear that in the back?
She knows.
And defend herself.
because they literally were like, you need to get up right now. Like, there's someone outside. And she, in her mind, she's thinking like, there's no way. Like, if I scroll in our group chat, you can probably see when we're freaking out and we're messaging the girls like, you need to wake up. There's someone outside. Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, now that I'm reliving
and how did the rest of the trip go?
That was our last night.
And now that you're reliving it, you're realizing how ridiculous it was.
No, I think you know, the thing is we on the listing, like normally you warn about like certain wild animals. Like they did tell us there would be like lizards and stuff. There was no mention of raccoons. Had we known, then we would have.
But then again, for them, it's probably like the same thing for us. Like if you had an Airbnb in the middle of Toronto, would you mention the raccoons?
No, well, if you have a raccoon problem, I'd be like, by the way,
the whole city has a raccoon problem. Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know there were raccoons. Like, how do they survive in the Mexican heat? They're like furry.
What? How do they survive in this heat? We have heat too.
It's not as bad here.
Yeah, but like, you know, if they can survive our extreme winters and our extreme summers.
Maybe they went swimming in the pool. Imagine little raccoons like
what?
Wee, in the water.
Okay, guys, no.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So how did the rest of the trip go then?
It was still really fun. We felt super safe. Like that was the only time that we ever.
Yeah, and this was on the last day, right?
Yeah, and like, you know what's funny? So we actually like hired this guy to drive us around for like 2 of the days. Yeah. Because he had like a really big van and there were 7 of us. And on the last night, or the night before, he was like overcharging us an insane amount. And one of the girls was like, no, I'm going to like try and fight to get a better price. And he kind of got mad. So when we were like thinking about like who would break in, we're like, oh my God, it's Jose. His name is Jose. It was like, oh my God, it's him. He's trying to get his revenge. Yeah. And I'm like, but we paid him. Did we not pay him enough? Like, what happened? So yeah, good times.
Okay, sounds nice. So we'll be back here in a second, guys, to continue our travel stories.
And we're back. Did you have any crazy stories?
Okay, so like, So a couple weeks ago, I actually went to Edmonton for a wedding. I think I mentioned that in the last episode we did.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't mention, some of the things that might have happened on our way there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let me set the stage for you. So I had a flight at 7 a.m. in the morning on a Friday. I know it's pretty early, but I was like, you know what? I'd rather get there early, have the day to myself. So at 4 o'clock, I got to the airport at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Parked my car at the parking lot right next to the building so I can pick it up when I come back. I get in, I go to the check-in station, and I was like, yeah, I had issues checking in on thing. Like, can I check in for my flight here? And she's like, yeah, so your flight was canceled. And I was like, canceled? What do you mean canceled? I didn't get an email or anything. Like, she said straight up, like, your flight's been canceled. Sorry, maintenance issues. And I was like, so, like, do you have any other options for me? What can I do? And she's like, you should get an email soon saying that your flight was canceled. I was like, but our flight's literally in 3 hours. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I walked away and I was like, okay, let me try and... I didn't know what to do. I literally didn't know what to do. So I literally walked away and just sat down. And I was like, okay, let me just wait for this email to come through.
Yeah.
And of course, because the flight was canceled, like the line started getting bigger and bigger at the customer service desk, trying to scream and like ask them what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I see like a couple of my cousins who pull up who were going to be on the same flight as me. And I told them the same thing. So we just all sat there. Tell me why at 8 o'clock, keep in mind, the flight was supposed to leave at 7 a.m. 8 o'clock, we get an email saying your flight was canceled.
Wait, you stayed at the airport for that long?
Yeah, I stayed at the airport.
Oh, my God.
Because I was like, I need to know what my options are. Like, they got to give us a flight, right?
Yeah.
They have to do something. So at 8 a.m., we get an email saying your flight's been canceled. Please wait for another email with your other options. And we're like, other options? Like, you should have the option already.
Right.
So we're all just chilling there. Literally from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we were doing nothing, just sitting there. And we waited another 2 hours for another email. So now it's 10 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my
Flight was
God.
supposed to leave at 7 a.m. We were chilling there, didn't know what to do. They gave us a couple of vouchers for food or whatever. But because I was flying should I even say the name of the company? I was flying with a certain company that didn't have a good reputation at the moment. It's not Air Canada. It's not Air Canada, but it also had a bad reputation to the point where the stores that were like in the area we were sitting in didn't accept their vouchers because they had bad reputation with not paying them back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So 10 o'clock, we finally get an email saying, yeah, so the only option right now is you're going to have to wait till tomorrow for your flight around at 7 a.m. again. So I'd have to wake up early again. Keep in mind that I had my car parked in a special parking lot where you book the amount of time you want off for it.
Shoot.
So I couldn't take my car out until the day I got back. I was supposed to get back. So I was like, what do I do? And then thankfully my cousins were nice enough to be like, okay, you know what? We'll let you jump on our Uber with us because they were also in Scarborough and they actually were nice enough to add you can add a second route to your Airbnb, to your Uber. Mm-hmm. So they did that to my house. So I got home. At this point, it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of gave up at this point. I was like, okay, I guess I got to fly out tomorrow. My rental, I have already paid for. Everything was already paid for, Airbnb, all this stuff. I was losing all this money. And then the moment I get to my desk, I tell my mom everything that's going on. I get to my desk, I sit down, and literally 2 minutes later, an email comes through saying flight options or something like that from the company.
Ooh.
So they were like, yeah, so you can choose a flight at 4:30 or 6:30 p.m.
Today.
The same day.
Yeah.
So I called my cousins immediately. I was like, yo, first off, they just knocked out right away because they had to wake up early too, right? And I was like, yo, let's get on flight. They're like, honestly, at this point, we're too tired. We'll go with it tomorrow or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. So I changed it immediately to 4:30. I literally in the back of my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get a good seat. Like, I don't know if this is even going to be right because I already didn't have any belief or I lost all my trust for this company at this point.
Yeah, you had no hope.
So I thought they would mess it up somehow, but I was like, I'll just take the risk. So I got onto the TTC with my suitcase.
You didn't Uber to the airport?
No, why would I pay again? I'm not going to pay any more than I have to.
Oh my God.
So I literally took my bag, took my suitcase with me. It was a carry-on because I'm smart enough not to take any check-ins. Okay. And then I took the TTC to the Union Station, took the up train to Pearson, got there by 2 o'clock. And the flight was at 2:30, so I had 2 hours. Literally check-in. I don't know how everybody's talking about how check-in's really bad at Pearson. It took me 10 minutes. I just literally just walked.
I think
almost
it
stopped
depends.
once or twice.
It depends. You stayed domestic. I think if you're going to the States, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. I guess it is pretty bad there. If I was going in Terminal 1, I think Terminal 3 is domestic,
Did you do
right?
Terminal 3 as well?
Terminal 3 is domestic, right? It's a smaller one.
It's not domestic because we went through Mexico.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Through there.
But I did go to
US
Terminal 3.
is Terminal 1, though.
Okay, I think Terminal 1's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took that. I went through security. I still had my 2 vouchers, and thankfully,
they took
so this shows you how much of a pushover I am when it comes to ordering stuff.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I walk up. I was like, okay, I need something like somewhat healthy, and that will satiate me because I hadn't eaten anything until now. Because
oh yeah,
I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I thought I would get through security and then buy something. So it was 4:30 to 4:30, 12 hours. I haven't eaten anything. So I was like, okay, I got to get something in my stomach. So I went to a Booster Juice because I knew that I could get protein shakes there, right? So I had 2 vouchers with me worth $20 in total. Okay. And thankfully they were willing to accept it. I asked them, I was like, can you guys accept it? They're like, yeah, we'll take it.
Good.
So I told the lady, okay, I want a banana and strawberry smoothie with 2 scoops of protein. I thought she understood me. And then when she pulled up the price, it was like almost $20. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But you know what? It's free for me anyways because of the voucher. So I just accepted it. I didn't even look at the receipt or anything.
Oh my god.
And then I'm just chilling there. I'm just waiting on the side for my protein shake. And then I look at the lady and I see her make a drink. And then she puts it on the table and then she starts making another drink. I'm like, why is she making a second drink?
Stop.
That's odd. Maybe there's someone else who ordered a similar thing to me because she's putting the same ingredients. And then the lady pulls up to me with 2 drinks in hand.
Oh my god.
And she's like, oh, you got the strawberry banana smoothies too then, right? I was like, yeah. I didn't even mention the fact that I wanted 2 scoops in one. I just took it and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to drink both of these. I haven't eaten anything in 12 hours. Maybe I need the extra calories. So I literally just took both the drinks. Keep in mind that I had a bag. I had a carry-on suitcase, and now I had 2 drinks in my hand.
Oh my god!
That I had to try and figure out how to walk away with at the same time. I think I ended up wrapping my arm around my suitcase and dragging it because I had the wheels on the bottom that could go vertically and then holding them and then walking with it. I definitely looked weird there.
You got to master the art of putting the drink, you got to hold the drink with these 2 and then you pull with these 3.
I tried doing that, but
didn't work?
I kept squeezing it, and she also overfilled them to the point where when she put the cap on, it started squeezing out through the top.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I'm never gonna get booster juice again because I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just them or this is just how it is, but they make their smoothies basically like ice cream. It was so
very
thick.
Yeah,
I couldn't drink it with the straw.
Yeah,
I had to take off the cap and eat it,
or let it melt a little bit. But yeah, that's
at that
very
point,
thick.
I didn't know my flight was. I think I still had time, but I was also tired and I wanted to sleep, so I wanted to finish them as quickly as possible, right? So I finished the one and then I started drinking the other one. I think I accidentally. I was sitting there for 2 hours. I fell asleep and one of them melted. And I was going to continue to drink it, though, even though it melted. But then the flight was boarding by the time I woke up. And I think I forgot it there to this day. Someone's going to pick it up and throw it anyways, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was my, crazy day just getting on the flight. But then when I got to Edmonton, because I was delayed, I didn't have... So everything, just like Vancouver, I think I mentioned this in our Traveling for Vancouver podcast, everything in Edmonton closes by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
You guys went there too.
Yeah.
Literally, including the rental places.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people don't know this, but if you order a rental vehicle from the airport, it can be $200 or $300 more than ordering it from or renting it from those locations inside the city.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just pay the $20. I checked even in Toronto, how much it would cost to take an Uber from my airport to the rental place, and it wasn't that much. So I was like, I'll just take an Uber there and then pick up my car, and then I'll have a car for whatever to do whatever. But that was not the case because they were closed. I got there at 7 or 8 p.m.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Thankfully, because...
Wait, even with the time difference?
Yeah, even with the time difference.
Okay.
So, but thankfully, because there were a lot of people coming to the city for this wedding, first off, there's okay, I don't want to say there's barely any Hiii people in Edmonton, but there isn't a huge community of people there.
Yeah.
So when they had this wedding in Edmonton, literally almost everyone at the wedding had to fly in.
Yeah.
So of course there were like 3 or 4 people that I knew, both from Toronto and from like other places in America that were at the airport at the time. So I was kind of able to like talk to them, and they were nice enough to give me a ride to where my Airbnb was supposed to be. And then after that, I kind of went to a friend's house to like to a friend's house to like stay there or whatever. But that was just my whole ordeal getting into the city.
You probably regretted it. You're like, it's not even worth it.
No, but honestly, I had a good time there. Like I even mentioned last
No,
time.
like the trip itself is fine, but getting there, I feel when it starts off on the wrong foot, you're just like, I'm just go home.
But I'm also the kind of guy who like rolls with the punches.
Yeah, you are.
If that makes sense. And I realized with planning this whole trip how like I'm kind of too relaxed when it comes to planning. Like for a lot of my mindset when it came to like even planning this was like, oh, I'll just figure it out when I get there. I'll just figure out when I get there. Like buying the ticket, I didn't buy it until like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And like, what else happened? You didn't get the rental until like 2 days before. I didn't get the Airbnb until like literally the night before. Like I was going to stay on Friday night, and I didn't order the Airbnb until
like
Thursday night. Yeah. Literally, it said you have 12 hours to make an appointment or whatever.
You live in life on the edge, because that could not be. Like, even though I don't plan, I just knowing that someone else is doing it, like, it's like, you got it, right? All right,
yeah.
cool.
See, like, because this was all on me, I realized that, like, I won't really I'm very laid back even for my own plans, right? And even for, so part of the trip, so we had the wedding for the first few days, and then there was this plan which was crazy, okay? There was a plan to go from Sunday night was the wedding, and they wanted to go to Banff and Calgary on Monday.
Yeah, wild for that one.
Keep in mind, like, just to let you know, first off, the wedding finishes at like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, and nobody goes to sleep after the wedding, of course, because you got to go other spots or whatever,
it's the
right?
After party.
Yeah, the after party.
Yeah.
And they're planning on driving at like 8 a.m. in the morning, or even 7 a.m. in the morning.
You guys are wild.
And it's 4 hours. Banff is 4 hours away
from Edmonton. Yep.
So, of course, I ended up staying up, and like I think it was so late that like the sun was coming up by the time I went to sleep, and I went to sleep for like 2 hours, and then we were out again.
You guys actually got up to leave at that time?
Exactly. I got up at like we were getting ready to leave at like 9 o'clock. It was a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like if it was me by myself, I would have probably been gone by like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because. Like, I was like, I'll just sleep when I get home. Whatever. Okay, it's a vacation. I don't need sleep. Who needs sleep?
Yeah.
Literally on that whole trip, I think I got like 6 hours of sleep total in 4 days.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But honestly, with the whole plane story, like everyone is having plane issues in Toronto airport specifically. Is just like there's something going on there, to the point where like some people were stranded. Like there was a couple of people who had to get like a connecting flight. So they left from Toronto. They went to Fort McMurray, which is a few hours outside of Edmonton, because like they had like some deal with the tickets or whatever. But because of like delays or like these flight issues, they were stranded in Fort McMurray for 8 hours.
Oh my God, I would cry.
To the point
Fort
where,
Mac?
yeah, and the thing is that airport is not meant to like house people 24/7. So the airport literally closes. But because they were stuck there until the next day, they were willing to let them stay there, and they slept in the airport for that night.
Oh my God.
And then they had to take a plane from there to Calgary and have like another 4-hour layover before getting into Edmonton.
They flew them to Calgary, not Edmonton?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
So, and
why didn't they just get a direct flight?
No, I think it was just like due to like the deal that someone was able to get them with tickets or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And there were some people who got their luggage lost, like who had all their wedding stuff in there. And there are people who like it took so long for their flights to get there, or like because their flights were canceled, didn't even make it. So this just flying into Edmonton in general was a whole hassle for everyone. I don't think anyone had a smooth ride.
Crazy, because you would think that the problems would happen if you're going international, but you guys were literally still in Canada.
Exactly. And the one thing that annoys me the most is that like if you want to fly anywhere domestically in Canada, get ready to shell out like $600 to $800 minimum.
That was the price of our Mexico ticket.
That's the thing.
It's
like
crazy.
When you've traveled the world, you start to realize how much they take advantage of us here in Canada. Like not only with like phones and all this stuff, but like planes alone, it's so hard to travel. That's why nobody in Canada really likes traveling in Canada, within Canada, because it's so expensive. You for the same amount that you, like you mentioned, the same amount you can pay for a flight to go from here to Edmonton, which is not really a tourist destination technically.
Yeah,
you can go to Mexico and like literally get an all-inclusive trip there for the amount of time, for the amount of money it will cost you to go to Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean it depends on the time of year that you go, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then also like I've traveled around Europe with Aisha at one point.
Oh yeah, it's like really cheap to.
Yeah, for the prices that you're paying within Europe to fly between countries is literally the price you would pay for an Uber ride to get down the street to get from here to Toronto.
That's so
it's
true.
It's so cheap. Why am I sweating so much?
I know. I'm like looking at you and I'm like, is he okay?
I'm getting literally heated.
It's really not that hot. I promise you it's not.
I'm dying. Okay.
I actually can't believe how hot you're getting.
Oh my god.
Like this room is so like it's nice and airy. The windows.
I'm dying. Okay.
That's how I felt in Mexico though. There was like this one day it was so hot that I was like profusely sweating. Like I don't even sweat that much when I work out, so I was like, oh my god, I literally think I'm gonna faint.
Yeah,
I'm losing too much water. I can't do this. So
I'm gonna keep this towel here because I'm sweating. But what was I talking about?
You were talking about
in Europe.
Europe.
Like in Europe, we were spending like 25 to 50 pounds to fly between countries at one point.
That is so cheap.
It was super cheap. And when you compare that to what we're seeing here, like you know that they're taking it doesn't need to cost them this much.
If we could get flights to like the West Coast for like $100 even, I swear we would do more weekend trips to Banff or something. Yeah.
Like travel should be something that's regulated. Yeah. I feel like that's the solution. Like I know people don't like regulations, especially a lot of conservatives, but I feel like at this point when it's clear that the companies are taking advantage of their customers, and like especially what Air Canada is doing with like canceling 9,500 flights.
Yeah, that's
because they take advantage of their workers. Exactly.
We're
like
out of here.
It's so bad, and the reason that they're short staffed is because they take advantage of their workers.
Exactly.
So it needs to be regulated somehow. I know people don't like regulations, but what do you like? This is traveling. I feel like traveling should be. First off, I feel like everyone should travel. Like if you haven't traveled and gone around the world, I know it's a privilege. I was just gonna say,
we sound like we're coming from a place of privilege. Like if you can travel.
Yeah, but the reason we say you can because it's so unaffordable now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it should be made affordable because people's horizons are so your horizons are broadened when you get to see the rest of the world, right? You get a different perspective, you see different lifestyles. Yeah. And I feel like that helps you just
develop and grow.
Develop as a person as well. And we need to make it as affordable and as accessible to everyone as possible, right? And unfortunately we have like in other countries with who don't have as many opportunities, like there's the visa issues and stuff. Like people from Africa aren't allowed to just travel wherever they want like we do. Sorry, my mouth is getting like cotton mouth here because I'm sweating so much. I'm literally gonna just keep this towel here, guys. I'm sorry.
Actually,
yeah. So that was getting into the country. Thankfully, getting back was no issues.
Same.
Yeah, but
I mean, actually, I lied. Our flight got delayed.
Oh, your flight got delays are not as bad.
Yeah, but like coming home, we actually didn't have a direct flight.
Oh, really?
So we flew from Mexico to Chicago, and then Chicago to Toronto. But so really, we were like flying the whole day.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, oh my God, I've heard so many stories about like missing luggages. You know, like they just take everything off of the belt, and like people steal luggages, or they just like get taken by accident. So like that was on my mind. So no joke, when we got off the flight, I was like, guys, we have to run, okay? Yeah. Like, do not waste time. So I was like literally speed walking. And again, we came back from Terminal 3. So like, I'm not used to Terminal 3. Terminal 1, I know my way around just because I've been there so often. But this one, I was like, oh my God, where am I going? So I'm like walking. And then before you get your bags, you actually have to go through customs.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay, how many souvenirs did I buy? Like, how much did I spend? I didn't even spend that much money on this trip.
We just say you don't have to claim anything.
I know, I know, but I was just like, what are they gonna ask me? So I'm like, just like trying to like calm myself down. I was like so hot.
You actually get nervous speaking to agents like that in your own country?
It's not that I get nervous because like I'm not doing anything illegal. Yeah. But like I just feel like they might look at me like, what do you have in your bag?
That's all on you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why are you asking? I don't have anything in my bag. So we're in this extremely long line. I lost the girl, so now I'm like texting them like, wait, we have service here. Yeah. Iman was behind me, I think. Mm-hmm. Like I lost her. Nabat was also like, she had to go to the bathroom, so we were just like split up. Yeah. And then eventually like I get through, and it was, how you have to take your photo in that machine thing.
I hate that machine so much.
It was like literally 15 seconds. Like I got to it, did my photo, and then I joined the next line.
It never works for me.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know
why it doesn't work for you, but it got me really quick. Yeah. And then I was waiting to see like the border patrol people, and I guess because they're just trying to get the people through, anyone who has like a Canadian passport and like doesn't look sus, the lady literally was just like, hi, how are you? And I was like, good, how are you? And she's like, good. Literally looked at my paper, looked at my passport, looked at me, just did a little check mark, and she's like, okay, have fun.
Yeah, you're Canadian. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. That's why I was weird. I was like,
I also think it's because I did my ArriveCAN. I did the border.
Yeah, like when you do ArriveCAN, there's whatever. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. And then I'm thinking, so I messaged the girls. I'm like, guys, I'm going to go get our bags because I don't know where they are. Right. So they're like, okay, cool. So, in the time that it took them to go through the entire line, our bags didn't even come off of the conveyor belt. So I was so happy because I picked them off myself. But I got all of our stuff and I was like, okay, we're good. We didn't lose anything. So we got lucky.
So you didn't see like the piles of...
Oh, yeah, there were piles everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were piles everywhere. And people were like looking through the piles, and I was like, I got my stuff. Just
if people don't know, like like I mentioned earlier, Toronto Pearson right now is just a shit show. Like it's so bad.
If you're gonna come here, just download the Arrive Canada app. Fill it out.
Don't check in any bags.
I mean, if you have to, you have to. But
just try not to.
Just run off the plane when the plane lands. Don't push anyone, of course, but like just don't be distracted.
But it's not only like the fact that it might be taken off the conveyor belt, it's the fact that they might just forget your luggage in general.
Yeah, I feel like if you have any, because my concern was that we had a connecting flight, so I'm like, oh my god, what if our stuff is in Chicago, like then what do we do? But then I made sure to pack all of my important stuff in my duffel bag, and if it was just clothes that was like missing for a couple days, then whatever, so
there are people who are going back to the airport after like 16 days and still haven't found their luggage.
I feel for you guys.
Yeah. Do you think that Air Canada is gonna like just collapse on itself? I feel like at this point, like,
no.
So
I don't think it's gonna collapse because there's no replacement. So people still need it. Unfortunately, like
we have WestJet.
Yeah, but WestJet doesn't travel to that many places.
Really?
As much as Air Canada?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So like they're kind of a monopoly in a sense. Yeah. Like Rogers.
We'll get into that.
We will get into that. But so yeah, I don't think they'll collapse. I think that their value is going to drop for a little bit, and people are like looking for alternatives or like maybe driving out to Buffalo and then flying out from the States there. That's also another solution for y'all trying to travel. So yeah, I don't think it'll like completely fail as a company. I just think that they need to really rethink their business model and their strategy and really focus on like employee satisfaction, because if you can't retain your employees, your company, like I've always said this, but like your employees are literally your biggest asset. Like more than the customers. Like if you don't keep your employees satisfied, you can't function as a company.
And it shows what happens when a company mistreats their workers.
Exactly. So hopefully, after, the thing is like you can call it busy season because it's summer, but like it's just gonna pick up again like in the fall time when it's Thanksgiving, and then in the winter when it's like Christmas and the other holidays and stuff. So I don't know, get your shit together, guys.
You can kind of make the point that like, well, we literally went from not being able to travel to being able to travel in such a short time, and these companies are trying to like catch up, but then again they didn't have to put out all those flights, so I don't know. I heard some people making that excuse for it,
but why are we acting like this is like the airport's just opening now post-pandemic? Like it was fully functioning beforehand. This was
but it wasn't this much volume. Like now everyone wants to travel.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I still remember when I flew in October of 2020, and it was the best experience. Like, the airport was literal ghost town.
Yeah.
It was the best. Not that I enjoyed the pandemic, but I'm just saying, like, traveling during that time, there's nobody, like, there were like rows on rows of like empty seats. Like, it was just, ow.
Yeah, I think I traveled then too, no?
You traveled November.
Yeah, November.
We always like just miss each other. So hopefully the next trip that we take is going to be together.
We'll see.
You better not plan no secret trips without me again.
Yeah. Well,
come to LA.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
Okay.
But like, I don't think did I mention Banff? I mentioned Banff. Banff was really nice. I'm just gonna close off on that. Yeah, Banff was really nice.
Show your pictures.
Huh? I didn't take many pictures.
You didn't?
I don't take pictures like that.
No, but like of the scenery and stuff?
Like one.
What?
I literally, when I go traveling, I forget sometimes that I even have a camera.
I get it that you want to be in the moment, but like just memories.
That's one thing about me. I'm super like self-aware of being in the moment. So like I'll almost not consciously or like I'll almost talk myself down from pulling out my phone just so I can make sure that I'm in that moment. I
mean, I get that because I do that too, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to remember this. So like I'll record for like a couple seconds and then I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll do something like that. I'll record something for a few seconds, but I won't throughout the whole day. If I'm experiencing something, I'll take one photo or one short video, and then at that point, my phone's in my pocket. I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Like unless it's something that like I actively want to chronicle because like you're seeing something different every time.
Yeah.
But I don't use my phone like that. And sometimes I even kick myself for it. I'm like, I should have filmed that. Especially a lot of family moments. Like I'm not traveling moments, but like family moments. I'm like, I should have filmed that more or taken more pictures. But I'm just so bad at it because I'm like trying to be in the moment at the time.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, we need to take more pictures because like I love looking at old photos of our parents and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, they used to have so much fun.
Yeah, that's what triggers that. Like the fact that I've been chronicling like or digitizing all of our VHSs when we were kids. I'm like, why don't we film or why don't I have that drive to film more? Yeah. And it's just me getting in my head basically.
Yeah, I don't know if mine's necessarily about like wanting to savor the moment. It's more so of just like, I feel like I'm too in my head in terms of like just being self-conscious. Like, oh, I don't like what I'm wearing today. Oh, I don't think this looks nice. Like, I don't want to document it. But if I keep having that mentality, then I'm never going to document anything.
Exactly.
And that was like the whole, like, I know that there's many, like this is so off topic, but there are so many different like opinions on whether you should be posting on social media or not. And I genuinely believe like if you have an Instagram page or Twitter or whatever, wherever you want to post your photos, Facebook, and you post because you genuinely like enjoy those photos and you just want to like have a place to store them and like look at them and maybe share with your family and friends, like I totally support that. That's what I do. I know that like sometimes people's motivation for posting, like especially if you are trying to be a content creator and maybe your photos aren't performing as well, or I don't know, you're self-conscious or something, and so that's kind of like deterring you from wanting to post. Like the way that I see it, just like post what makes you happy, you know? Just do it. Like who cares if you get one like or no likes? Like who cares if you like that photo? Post it. Who cares?
Post it, guys. Don't be self-conscious, I guess. Or me. But you were mentioning something about the Rogers communication issue that happened yesterday.
No, was it yesterday?
Or wait, what day is it today? Sunday?
Sunday.
Saturday. Friday. Sorry, my bad. Friday.
Okay, so guys, Amir's not with Rogers.
Where were you when we realized it was happening?
So let me tell you my thought process, okay?
Yeah.
Thursday night, I was like, okay, I get half day Fridays in the summer with work. So I'm going to wake up early, which I did. I'm going to work from 8 to 12, and then I'm going to have a great Friday. I wake up 7:45, and I'm like, damn, nobody texted me. My phone's that dry. So I'm like, okay. The thing is that the day before I was having Wi-Fi issues at home. So I'm like, that's weird. My little bars are not the little bars, you know, the stairs. They're not showing up on my phone. So I'm like, that's weird. So I turned off my phone, and then in the process of turning off my phone, like I didn't even go to I didn't wash my face, brush my teeth, nothing. I went straight to my office and I turned on my laptop. So I'm trying to sign in and I can't. I'm like, why isn't it letting me connect to Wi-Fi? So I'm like, let me call my mom.
Shout out to the people waking up at 8:59.
I'm trying to call my mom. No calls going through. I'm like, what the F? It doesn't even say Rogers in the corner of my phone. So I'm like, what is going on? What do I do? So I'm like, you know what? This is a bad dream. I'm going to go back to sleep. Whatever. I'll just work 9 to 1. I'm not going to work 8 to 12. It's fine. So I go back to sleep and I wake up again at 8:45. So an hour later. I wake up, I'm like, I have to have Wi-Fi now.
Yeah.
Still nothing. So I'm like, is this a joke?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on? Computer's still down.
Yeah.
I turn on the TV. It doesn't work. Why? Because my family loves to use the same of everything. So home, phone, TV.
All eggs in one basket.
Everything is Rogers. Okay? So now I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I feel like, you know, now those people, like us who live in the suburbs, it's not like how it was in the 90s where you know your neighbors. Yeah. I don't know who my neighbors are.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, now I gotta go and socialize. Like, what do I? So now I'm like, let me look presentable. Let me go outside. And I rang my neighbor's doorbell, and I was like, hi. I was like, does your internet work? And he's like, no, I'm with Fido, and I think Fido's down. I was like, I'm with Rogers, and Rogers is down. Mm-hmm. So he's like, yeah, I might be going to the store, like, to check it out.
Wait,
and
so like neither of you even knew what was going on yet?
No. So at this point, like, we both don't have cell service. We don't have internet, whatever, right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at my other neighbors. All their cars are gone. So I'm like, damn, they're not home. Mm-hmm. I'm like, should I be those people that like goes to door to door? Like, I don't really feel like socializing. It's 9 a.m., you know?
Yeah.
So I go back in the house and I'm like, now what? Like, what do I do? I'm like, you know what? Let me make myself a nice gourmet breakfast until this.
Oh, yeah, because technically you couldn't even call work and tell them. Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, like yesterday, like I stopped working at like 3 p.m. because my Wi-Fi was down. Now I'm not even signing in. Like, they're going to think I'm like slacking because I just came back from vacation. So I'm like, great, like, it's going to look so bad. I can't even message anyone. So now I'm just like chilling, making my breakfast, literally no calls, checking my phone every 2 minutes, nothing. So after breakfast, I'm like, might as well clean. I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I'm cleaning. Then anyone who knows me in real life knows that it takes me 2 hours to pack for a trip, 2 weeks to unpack for a trip. But now I literally had nothing to do. So I'm like, let me unpack my stuff. Yeah. So I literally unpacked all my stuff. Still had a lot of time to kill. So I'm like, let me finish one of those books that I said I was going to finish last year. Mm-hmm. So I start reading.
Wait, which one?
This was one of the ones that my therapist suggested. I think it was called like Setting Boundaries.
Just give me back my books now.
No. I'm gonna
just give me back my books. Listen. Which one did I think you have my Malcolm X book.
I have that one, and I also have Midnight Library.
Yeah,
I only have those two, which I'm gonna finish this year for sure.
I'm waiting on it.
So I start reading this book. I think I'm like 20 pages in, and then I'm like, my eyes are so heavy. So I'm like, this is how you know I don't read, because I'm so tired after 20 pages. So let me just take a small little baby nap. Took a little baby nap. I wake up. It's like maybe at this point it was like 2 o'clock when I started reading. Mm-hmm. And then I read for maybe like 30-40 minutes, and then I went to sleep, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at like 3:30. I woke up at like 3:45, and I was like, oh my God, there's still so much time left in the day. What should I do?
This is what we used to do before the internet.
Yeah, I was like, what should I go for a walk? Like, what do people do, you know? Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, okay, let me just go up to my room. So I'm like cleaning, I put on a face mat, like, you know, just did stuff to like occupy my time. Then my mom normally comes home at a certain time. She doesn't come home. I'm like, oh my God, what if like the traffic lights are out too, and like she got into an accident? Like, what?
Did you not think to like go out into society and like figure out what's going on?
First of all, I was in the suburbs.
The world could have been ending, and you would have just chill at home washing your clothes.
It was like so. But I did, like, I went out to my street. Like, is anybody out here? Like, there's nobody.
Yeah.
So my basement is getting renovated, so I can hear the contractor. So I'm like, oh, maybe he has internet, and I can just hotspot from his phone and tell my manager. Yeah. Like, that was my biggest concern.
Yeah.
So I go downstairs, and I'm like, does your phone work? He's like, no, nothing works. And I was like, why? Like, I'm just gonna have the answers.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I think there's something going on, but like, yeah, nothing works. Mm-hmm. I'm just here in silence. And I was like, okay. Do you want me to do you want lunch or anything? Like, I wanted something to do. So like, do you want anything to eat? He's like, no, I'm fine. So I was like, okay. So I go back upstairs. Yeah. And then at this point, it's now like approaching 5 o'clock. It's close to like, no, it's after 5 o'clock, because it's after my mom was supposed to come. It's now almost 6. My mom finally comes home, and I'm like, does your phone work? And she's like, no. She's like, I had Wi-Fi. We're with Bell at work, so like I was using Wi-Fi there. And she's like, I was trying to call you, and then I realized, oh, her cell phone's Rogers, her internet's Rogers. Like, I can't get a hold of you. So I'm like, oh man, okay, well, now what do we do? So we're putting away the groceries and stuff, and then I'm like we're just staring at each other, like, you know, you got any news? She's like, how was your trip? Well, that's what I did. I started making a reel, which I don't think we'll post because it didn't turn out that great.
Come on now. Okay.
Whatever. We'll see. Maybe. So then, after that, like, we decided to make popcorn and like bunna, like habasha bun. Like literally, I was roasting it. Like I needed time to kill.
Yeah.
And then what did we do after that? I think I kind of just like sat there, and my dad came. We were just like chilling. We had nothing to do. We had this whole ceremony, made dua. Like it was really cute.
Yeah.
Because what else are we gonna do? And then my phone started working for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my god, I have cell service.
Yeah, there was one point where it randomly started working for a few minutes.
Yeah, so then I'm like messaging my brother. I'm like, oh my god, do you have Wi-Fi? And he's in the States.
Yeah.
I'm like checking all my Instagram, and like my phone was spazzing now. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, so people do love me. And then my phone stops working.
Yeah.
Then my mom's phone starts working, so now she's getting messages.
Yeah.
And she's getting more than me. So I'm like, who's messaging you? But it's
probably
like,
my mom trying to call her 1,000 times.
Your mom, like all the like WhatsApp chats and like Eid Mubarak and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, tomorrow's Eid.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you know what? Let me hotspot from her phone. So then I'm like, I turn on her hotspot, and my dad and I are both like using her phone, and she's like, stop finishing my data. I'm like, girl, you're not gonna finish data in 30 minutes. Relax. We're not doing anything crazy. And then from there, like I kind of just gave up and I went to sleep. And then in the morning I had data again. So
you had your experience without the internet again. You're like, this brings me back.
Yeah, but you know what? Then I started seeing all the posts talking about how Rogers is a monopoly and how that's scary for like the future of Canada. And
by the way, I had freedom, so I was perfectly fine the whole day and didn't know that there was an issue until I got to work.
You know what I was hoping though? I was like, maybe one of my friends will realize like Sara's not answering. Let's go check on her, see if she's okay. No. I was like hoping and praying Nabat would be like, Sara's not answering. Let me go pick her up. No. She stayed home. Fine. She stayed home with her. I think she was with TELUS. So she had her internet and I didn't.
But it does show you like how weak the infrastructure of this country is and how we kind of rely and how much there is an oligarchy in the country. We have like 3 companies who control the whole infrastructure of our internet. Because right now it's just Bell, TELUS, and Rogers. That's it.
I think when I switched to Bell.
There's no competition or anything. Well, like that was the thing. People are saying like people shouldn't have all their services in one basket. Like they're having that whole, I know a lot of companies, they push for it, like they want Rogers telephone, Rogers internet, Rogers TV, all that stuff. But it shows you that when you rely on one thing, if that one thing goes down, everything stops working.
I took the biggest L on Friday. So.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people that woke up a lot of people, and now they're realizing, okay, like this is an issue that needs to be resolved, because these companies have been taking advantage of us for so many years now. If people don't notice, like Canada has the highest cellular prices in the world.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's actually crazy.
People are paying literally hundreds of dollars a month to have like more data pretty much more data, because that's what everybody wants, right? And in other places like in Europe or when we're in the UK or even in America, like unlimited is normal out there, and unlimited full speed. Yeah. But in Canada, unlimited is not a thing. Like we're still working with 10, maximum 20. If you want to pay $100, 30 gigabytes of data per month. And with the evolution of the internet and how things are people are kind of using their phones for everything now. Yeah. You can go through that so quick. And of course you have Wi-Fi at home, but there's some people who like are always on the move or always outside and they can't get Wi-Fi wherever they want. But those same apps, even if you use it in like data saving mode, are using like multiple gigs, especially with the rise of TikTok. People are watching videos. Those videos are not, they're all like multiple megabytes each. Yeah. And that adds up over time, especially when people are scrolling for thousands of TikToks a day, when they're in the middle of work where they can't get Wi-Fi, maybe. Exactly.
Scrolling, you don't even realize how much data you're using on your phone.
Yeah, and people were already aware of this. I don't know if it's going to change anything. Like our government is very in bed with these companies. Yeah. And actually, there's a deal with Rogers and I think Shaw Internet, which is another like smaller competitor that they're about to make, where they're going to merge, and that's going to give Rogers even more. And Rogers is the one that went down. This is going to give them even more of a monopoly over the rest of the market, to the point where, and it wasn't only like people realize it's not only the cell phones that went down or the home internet or the TV, whatever. Like literally debit cards were not working in the country.
Emergency services.
Yeah, emergency services weren't working.
That's scary.
Even like small things like, in certain water parks, you have those city run water parks. Yeah. even those ones were not working because they use a cellular device to turn them on and off during the day because they go off a timer, right? Yeah, they turn on at like 10 a.m. and turn off at like 10 p.m. or something like that. And they weren't working that day. So kids who were stuck in the house without an internet couldn't even go outside to these water parks to cool off.
The Weeknd had to cancel his concert.
Yeah, the Weeknd had to cancel his concert in his own city, of all things.
People were pissed. They were like, and I felt bad for the ones that flew in from like,
you saw the one from PEI?
Yeah,
they came like, from PEI.
That sucks.
Yeah, so our whole country relies on these 2 or 3 companies, and when one of them went down, the whole country was shut down.
Yeah,
it was like crazy to see, and it's weird, like, cause like I can't say I was even a part of it because I had my phone with me.
You didn't experience.
I didn't experience it like that, but what I did experience is that like because everybody was either hotspotting their lines that still had a connection, or because a lot of people were even transferring, like that same day they showed the lines outside of like Bell and Freedom and all these other
people
companies
trying
to get phones that day to change their services because they realized how reliant they were on one company. And mine, by the end of the day, like because during the day people were still figuring out what's going on, but around like 6-7 p.m. when everybody was at home and didn't know what to do, and they're like, okay, we gotta get service somehow, that's when my phone line went, or my data went like super slow, like slowed down to a chug. Like it was horrible. I literally, like a TikTok would take like 5 minutes to load.
Really?
It reminded me of like back in the day when you used to like when you want to watch a YouTube video back in the day. Yeah, you'd click it before you got your food, and then press play and then pause it to let it load. So by the time you got your food and got back, it would be fully loaded.
Oh my God, the things we take for granted now.
Yeah, man, it was bad, but hopefully that wakes up more people and they realize that like we can't be relying on 1 or 2 companies to run our whole system.
That's crazy. Yeah. But you know, like Rogers, Bell, TELUS, they all, like, their biggest selling point is that they have the strongest, fastest connection.
Well, that's because they control the whole market. So.
Yeah, so like even if you want to get a smaller company service, you might not have service if you live in the
and see how much they charge for those those faster services. Like they know that they're the only companies you can go to for gigabit internet, which is something that's with the rise of like I mean, not with the rise, but with the fact that we're using more and more data and need more bandwidth. They know this, so they're charging like hundreds of dollars to have speeds that people in the rest of the world get almost by default. Yeah. Like literally we're still working with like 15 to 30 to 100 megabytes per second, which
you know what? I'm done with Canada.
Which is nothing when it comes to the internet.
Let's go.
Like it's a balance, right? So these are just...
This is my 13th reason.
Every country has their issues, and this is one of our issues.
Yeah, let's go.
Like America has their gun issues. We have our infrastructure issues.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I'm done. I'm just going to peace out.
Okay, guys, we're going to peace out then on this episode. Thank you again for listening. Remember to subscribe. Oh, we forgot to say at the beginning. Whatever. Yeah, okay. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment in the video if you want to reply to any of the conversation we had or want to jump in on the conversation we had. Yeah. You can follow us on all of our platforms, Cousin Connection Pod. And yeah, I think that should be good. Hopefully we'll be on a more consistent basis now that we're all back.
We're back to regular scheduled programming. Yeah. We may or may not have a special guest next week. That's just a little teaser.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? Exactly. But, we're working on it.
We'll see you then. Bye.